Some of you had wanted to know what I did to make my V-Cube floor cut, reverse corner cut, and I'm going to show you that tonight. I have my cube apart to clean and lube it, and I thought it would be time. Anyway, the first thing I did was I took this hidden inner edge piece and I filed down the outside edge of it with a single cut metal file. It goes really slow, but it produces a really smooth edge, and this big piece against a big file going slow makes a really smooth edge. I sanded down that outside edge of this so that's really not sharp but rounded, so that as it goes by the edge piece it's never going to catch. That's maybe not so much for reverse corner cutting, but as a general principle, that was just so sharp in there. And I didn't think in the middle of the core, let me see if I can focus better. I didn't think for the middle, in the very middle of this thing, I didn't think there should be a sharp edge. So I took it off. I left the point there, but rounded down the outside of this. Next to reverse corner cut, you're going to need to modify the center pieces and the corner pieces. The corner pieces got the most modification. I again took my single cut metal file and I rounded the outer edge. I decided to leave the face square, but I needed this to be, it needs to be really round in there. This doesn't turn out as smooth because you're using the edge of the file and it's not as big and broad a surface, so it doesn't get as smooth as that inner edge piece. But I took the big broad file, I rounded this down as much as I could. I ground away until I had just the shine left on the surface of the front and cut it way back. I cut it so deep I thought I would be making a hole in the plastic. This piece has caps in there, has caps to hold the edge, and I ground it down so that I could tell I was going to be going through. The caps will pop off a couple times as you're sanding and filing, and just put them back in there and keep filing it smooth and round. And that's kind of what I did. I took away the inner square parts of this, had tried to make them round. The stock too, I rounded down its edges. I brought that down here. That makes it a little weak here, but none of these have broken on me yet. But I took that down, took this down, and lastly, on all the centerpieces, they had a sharp bump, and I took that down. I left the point here on the outside, but round on the inside, and I still left that point here, so they're kind of took this down. This little piece, the center piece, and when you're reverse corner cutting, it has to fit inside and underneath your corner piece. So the center piece has to be able to get under, kind of be tucked in. That's why I had to take down so much of the stock, because this has to get over in order to give you a little reverse corner cutting. And it's just a little, it's not a huge amount. It's a lot of work for a small amount of reverse corner cutting. But that's what I did. Left point here, obliterated the one in between. And we'll see how that looks and works in a sec. I'm putting my 4x4 back together, and I'm saving a bunch of time by not organizing any of the pieces and just throwing them back together randomly, except for the corners. You have to make sure the corners are right and solvable. But all the other pieces, you could put them together any order you want. You have parity algorithms. You could fix any problem with any of the other pieces. Corners have to be right. That's all. Just wanted to show you that. Okay, here we are back together. I'm going to show you how it works. It doesn't do that much corner cutting. It's maybe a third of a cubbie for this reverse corner cutting. But that's all I needed from it. If we go more, it's not really going to work. I'm going to show you the bad of this mod is one that makes the pieces a little weaker. Two, so if I can get it to do it. Two, sometimes these centerpieces get twisted. Every once in a while, they can get nice and twisted, and they can twist over almost 90 degrees in a solve sometimes, and it's a pretty hard lock, so that's a negative for the mod. But besides that, it's pretty wonderful. Last thing for the mod, you might want to take some normal or some gummy lube and get it there on the surface that we filed away. Get a little bead there on that surface in a couple places so that it actually slips past. Help it do its slipping thing. Get some lube in there and help it do its thing on each of those corner pieces. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to see this. If you do it, I hope it works for you. But with all mods, you can regret them. And speaking of that, I think my next video will be about a Shengshao 4x4 that's been a little over modded and I might want to trade. Anyway, thanks for your time. Talk to you later.